Did the father of my children and partner of 10 years after he left me when I was 38 weeks pregnant bail straight away, or did he help when they were tiny babies? Obviously, the situation was different with both of my kids because when we had our first daughter, we were together, we were happy, we were both excited to become parents for the first time. Slightly different story the second time round. But the first time, essentially, yes, he was very helpful. I'd had a category 1 emergency C-section. It was really fast. I had some nerve damage in my legs, so like walking was difficult. Getting home felt like such a mountain that I climbed. And he was like, did all the cooking, took care of me, sort of took care of me so that I can take care of the baby kind of vibe. I think as soon as I could sit up by myself and get out of bed by myself, he moved into the spare room because he went back to work when she was 3 weeks old. He had the 2 weeks paternity leave and then he took a week's holiday because me getting around was so difficult after that birth. And when he went back to work, he moved into the spare room so that he could sleep more during the night. And one night in particular, I remember being so exhausted. I was doing all the night feeds and all the wake ups, nappy changes, etc. And I was so exhausted. Mums who've been there with newborns, you know what it's like. And he came in, she must have been crying or something, and then I'd settled her and I was feeding her back to sleep. And he came in to see if I was okay and if she was okay. And when he came in, he sat on the end of the bed and I was crying and I was just saying, I'm so exhausted. Like, I can't think properly. And she was so tiny when she was born. She only really liked to sleep on my chest, which meant I had to like sit up and I couldn't fall asleep because you can't fall asleep with a newborn on you. So I was staying up so much of the night so that she could sleep. And every morning he would take over at 6 a.m. so that I could at least sleep for like 2 hours before he went to work. And sometimes that was literally all I was getting was those 2 hours. And I remember crying and I was just like, I'm just so exhausted. Like, how are we gonna sort this out? Like, how will I ever sleep again? And whilst I was talking, he was obviously tired. It was the middle of the night. He just got up and left the room as if I wasn't talking and as if I wasn't crying and being like, help, what are we going to do? I'm so exhausted. And I remember thinking, logically, I knew that he just wasn't listening to me. He was exhausted and was just going back to bed. But I remember thinking, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to do this by myself. Like, he's not in this with me as much as I am in this. I'm just going to have to do it alone. So I did. And when my second was born, it was an entirely different situation because whilst he was still living here, we were no longer together and there was a huge shift in like everything. Like, we were not a couple anymore. He was again sleeping in the spare room because we weren't a couple anymore, not because he was trying to get more sleep going back to work. I would definitely say that he helped less the second time than he did the first, but he didn't do absolutely nothing. He didn't like just sit on the